This is an update on my orchids that had no roots, and I'm just going to go right in and start off with this purple phal, and I ended up putting it in some coconut husk, chopped coconut husk with sphagnum moss, which is what I always use, and it's in a plastic kind of cup, and I just poked aeration holes in it, and then it sits in this kitchen glass that I had an extra of because the leaf kind of hits the table too much when it's not in the glass because it's not high enough, and that pushes the orchid out of the pot, so I don't want that, and I'm putting it in this glass. Also, it provides humidity for the new roots to grow down into, because during the day when it heats up, there's actually moisture on the sides. I let it air out today because there was too much, but it's doing really well. Here, it was doing well in water culture too, but you know what happens when I leave my orchids in water culture. So I potted it up, and it's doing just as good. It's actually doing better, so I needed the water culture to start new roots, but now it's doing well potted up. So water culture is good, just not, it depends on my orchids. Let's just say that. So the new leaf is growing well. It's growing slowly, and it started off, this one had I think 4 roots when I took the video, or 5, and now it has probably 12 roots. I don't want to dig too much, but it's constantly putting out new roots here, if you see that one right there. And it was staked up in this, but I recently took the stake out, so it's not, because it was kind of sturdy, but it's not 100%, so I don't want to dig too much. But the roots grew a lot more, and I think the water culture so much. There's another one all the way down here now, and these were the main ones. You can see how thick they are, and they're all the way down here in the medium now. So this one's doing really well, has so many roots now, and the leaves slightly perked up, but not too much. So it's on the way, and hopefully maybe in a year it'll be like a regular phal, and then I'll pot it up and stuff. So that's that one. Then I have the miniature phal, and it is still in water culture because it was doing fine, and if it's doing fine in water culture, I'll leave it. But this one really did better in the coconut husk after. So this is the miniature one, and it actually is growing. This leaf stopped. It's growing a new leaf here, and I don't blame it. So the leaves are the same amount of perk as they were last time, but this one's standing up straight at least. And I should probably show you the roots. So that root that was about up to here is now all the way here. And I should top up the water, but I'm going to let it dry out for a bit. So it's doing really well here, and I'm just leaving it in water culture. It actually, that new root right there in the middle, it was actually new. So since then it's grown a lot, and pretty fast too. This one's growing really fast, so I'm leaving it. And then I have, oh, I never actually said the color of this one. I commented on someone else's video. I commented on a couple of videos because it seemed everyone has the same color, and I can't really describe it. But it's yellow with like pinkish in the middle. I'll have to find a picture one day, but yeah, it's an interesting color. So I don't really have a name for the color. Next I have the Cattleya, and it's really wobbly, so I don't want to take it out, but I'm gonna take it out. And it's in this smaller orchid pot. I'd say it's 3-inch. And then it's also in this outer container that I found in my kitchen, and I do not plan on using that permanently because it doesn't fit my decoration likes. So it's tied up with a really tall stake, and the pseudobulbs are tied with a ribbon, and she's not doing well. It's really, really wobbly. So it's really not doing well. The new growth hasn't started. It's exactly the same. This root is getting hydrated right here. But the bulb isn't plumping up as much. Maybe it did plump up a little bit. Not really. And no root growth really. So in the water it stopped growing. It wasn't growing. And now in this medium it grew a little, but it's still not growing a lot. So I don't know what I'm going to do for this one. I'm just going to leave her on a shelf, and then when she wants to grow, she can grow. I'm not going to do anything further because I've tried everything. And it's really wobbly, so I'm putting it back. And those were all the water culture orchids, right? The orchids with no roots. I think that was all. So these two are doing well. They're growing slow, but they're going to bounce back because phals are that way. But the Cattleya is not doing well, and that's a shame because I paid a lot for something that has no roots. $35. So that's a huge regret. So I'll do another future video in the future about these ones, and I have a feeling that this one's going to be surprising me soon with perky leaves and lots of roots taking over. It's doing really well. So that's all. That's the update on the orchids with no roots that were in water culture.